What's going on, guys? Breakhaven here with another fragrance review, and today we're going to talk about Kirk Elliot. So I'm super excited about this review. Number one being that I got a new light. So I have my light that's in the front and I have this little light coming here hitting this side. So all I need is one on my opposite side and I'll be ready. But I digress. So I want to give a huge shout out to Kirk Elliot for sending me these two samples. And the first one that we're going to talk about is Unconditional. And here are the notes. We have amber, firewood, tangerine, cedar, and tobacco. Very simple notes. So I have it on this arm. So I like this one a lot. And let me describe this one for you. So you do catch the tangerine. It's not overly orange, overly tangerine like a lot of, orange fragrances. So the firewood that's in this fragrance, my nose is catching hot plastic. Yeah, I said it, hot plastic. I'm getting like a heated up plastic note, but I like it, it's good. So I'm getting like a melted plastic mixed with tangerine. Now I'm not catching any tobacco. And like I said in one of my previous videos, I'm not too familiar with amber. So even if I'm smelling amber, I'm not aware that I'm smelling amber as of yet. And I think I do catch a little bit of the cedar, but the way I describe this fragrance is, I'm catching tangerine and hot plastic. But it's something about that hot plastic, which I'm sure is the firewood. It's something about that hot plastic that I like. It reminds me of something. So the question I gotta ask myself is, what point in my life was I messing with something involving hot plastic? I never did ceramics. I did use a hot glue gun back in the day, but maybe that's what it could be. I don't know, but I like it. It's a familiar scent for me and I like it. So again, it's like a hot plastic orange vibe that I like a lot. Overall, I give this fragrance a 7 out of 10. I have a lot of 7 out of 10s in my fragrance collection. I would love to have this in my collection. And as far as longevity, as far as projection, this is my first time putting it on, so I'm just kind of watching how it develops. And I'll do a future review just to give you my future take on it, but as of now, I like it a lot, so we're gonna leave it there. Number 2, we have Intentional. Let me read you some of the notes. We have oak moss, tea. We have rose in the middle, fresh cut rose in the middle as well. And on the top, we have bergamot and tomato. So the oak moss and the tea is in the bottom of the fragrance. So I like this one as well. I definitely catch the rose. For any of you guys who know anything about my fragrances, I'm not huge on rose unless it's, well blended in and it's not the prominent note. And rose is not the prominent note in this fragrance. So I do like this fragrance. I love this rose fragrance. Now let's talk about the bergamot and the tomato. I think I am catching the tomato note. I'm only familiar with the tomato note is because, the reason why I know that is because I've smelled a fragrance by a perfumer named Hilda Soliani, which is one of my favorite perfumers. She's like the queen of gourmand. For any of you gourmand lovers, you guys are gonna love her. So she has a fragrance and the only note I believe in it is basil and tomato leaves or something like that. And so that's how I can recognize the tomato that's in it. Oak moss and tea, I'm not catching that. If I am, maybe I could be and I'm just not aware. So rose and fresh cut rose. I almost feel like I'm smelling the fresh cut rose more than I'm smelling the rose, because even though my nose does catch the rose, it's an unfamiliar type of rose. So maybe it's the fresh cut as opposed to just your regular rose. This is another good fragrance for all of my rose lovers. My rose lovers are gonna love this fragrance. And even people who are not familiar with rose or who are not big fans of rose, they'll like this as well, because I like this and I'm not a huge rose fan, so there's that. Anytime you can break barriers as far as, getting out of your comfort zone with a specific note, then for me it's a winner. So overall, I give this a 7.5 out of 10. I like this one a lot, and this is also something that I would want to have in my collection. So again, I want to give a huge shout out to Kirk Elliot for sending me these samples. I can't wait to spray them and do a future review on them, but for now, we're going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys in a bit.